To an I-team investigation into inspection reports showing an increase in the cracking concrete found in some structures at Seabrook Nuclear Power Plant. Thank you for joining us. I'm Anna Rodriguez.
And I'm Paula Eben. Well, now just months after our report, both Massachusetts senators are demanding an independent review of the damage. The plant and the Federal Oversight Agency insist there is a robust monitoring program already in place and that the buildings are safe. WBZ Chief Investigator Cheryl Fiandaca went back to look for more answers.
The concrete degradation is happening faster than expected, and it is absolutely imperative that as a result, we have a review.
Calls for an investigation coming on the heels of an I-team report showing the degrading concrete found at some Seabrook Nuclear Power Plant buildings is progressing.
We have to make sure it's safe. We have to make sure that concrete is going to hold. That requires critical questions to be asked and answered.
The owner of the plant, NextEra Energy Resources, and the NRC have been monitoring the degrading concrete for more than a decade, and both say the plant is safe.
Seabrook is the first U.S. reactor known to have the problem.
Natalie Hildy-Treat is with C10, a nuclear watchdog group that has been monitoring and has sometimes been at odds with Seabrook for decades. She says Seabrook is the first and only nuclear plant in the U.S. reporting this type of cracking concrete, which is sometimes called concrete cancer.
I could see the moisture made it in stark relief, this spider pattern cracking. It is a slow-moving problem, but it is definitely progressing.
NextEra again declined the I-team's request for an interview and a plant visit, providing this statement. The Nuclear Regulatory Commission has performed a highly detailed, multi-year evaluation of our infrastructure and systems. We have demonstrated, and the NRC has confirmed repeatedly, that Seabrook structures are robust, safe, and fully capable of performing their design functions. The NRC had a concern about the level of information contained in a report and had no concerns about our program itself. The senators say that's not enough and want a thorough review to ensure residents are safe.
They have a right to the answers. They have a right to know that, in fact, the concrete is going to hold and that there is no danger to them or to their families.
For those of us who live here, we have to think about it. We have to think about how we would evacuate, where we would get our kids. Children who live in the 10-mile radius, we have to sign permission slips so the schools would give them potassium iodide tablets to protect their thyroid if there were an accident. These are the kind of silent burdens that we live with living near a nuclear plant. So that's why we need to make sure it's safe.
The NRC said it planned to respond to the senators in writing, but it did not provide us with a statement for our report. Seabrook was recently relicensed by the NRC for an additional 30 years. NextEra tells us the plant is safe. Cheryl, Fiandaca, WBZ News.
Cheryl, thank you. Have you seen something the I-team should look into? You can send us an email at iteam@cbsboston.com. Paula?